Interesting. But how will the Paris Agreement even address issues in the agricultural sector? In other words, how better will the implementation of the Paris Agreement make Nigeria's agricultural sector? Because Morocco launched the Initiative for the Adaptation of African Agriculture. How can we tap into this?
So I say now we're seeing a debate and discussion around the energy mix in Nigeria. And speaking about the NDC now, this is giving us some concern, knowing that there is a of investment in renewable and clean energy, which is quite exciting. But then there is also that space that says, as part of our energy mix by the Minister of Power Housing, we would also invest in coal energy, which is also worrisome, because if you look at our ambitions, it's quite exciting. But then we need to get it right in terms of how are these other implementing agencies and partners ensure that we invest more in clean and renewable energy. We've seen irrigation in the agricultural sector done in other countries where you invest, you have solar panels and other cleaner ways and sustainable ways. So I think we need to debate more around how we fine-tune our energy mix as a country. Why would we want to invest in coal when we know that we can use half amount of that investment in cleaner energy and provide for households?
Yeah, so Morocco did launch that APA, Adaptation for Agriculture for Africa, and Nigeria is one of the identified countries. For us, from the Ministry of Environment, why we're talking about agriculture is looking at smart agriculture, because agriculture is one of the key sector in the INDC, and smart agriculture is what we're looking at the moment. And of course, you saw that the Minister of Agriculture was at Pt.2 to look at how we can invest in smart agriculture to not only fight climate change, but also improve our food security in the country. For the APA, the launch of APA, Nigeria is one of those countries, and I believe that the Minister of Agriculture will have more to say on that part of it, because for us, it's key part of our INDC to do that. Of course, we also had the Minister of Power, who was also at Pt.2, because power is key part of our INDC is that. But just to react to what Hamza said about in terms of our energy mix, and then our INDC is focused on development for the people. And as such, like that, we are going to transit to a more cleaner energy. If coal is providing energy for us at the moment for urgent need, we will do that, while we transition towards a more clean and sustainable energy for us. We're all looking at all of them. We're not going to abandon one and use the other one. We're going to use both, and while we are doing both, we provide people, and then we transit towards a cleaner energy within INDC in 2030. So this is our kind of a focus. We understand it is hard, but our people have needs, electricity needs, enormous electricity needs that we cannot do. So we have coal, we have renewable energy together, and hopefully as we're moving that, we're transiting gradually to a more cleaner energy for all in the country. Nigeria is a huge country with a huge population and with enormous energy needs. Same for agriculture as well. Agriculture is looking at a smart agriculture. In intertwined with smart irrigation as well, as part of our INDC program. So these are things that we are looking at to make sure that we're all there, we have enough food to eat, we also have enough water supply to live in our life, all of them within the context of INDC.
Well, I say what's important is we get our so-called energy mix right, because we're seeing a huge investment in the renewable and clean energy sector. But what's important is we don't have to this time dwell and go and invest in coal power plants and coal energy to provide our energy needs. I think we need to debate and discuss more around how we want to fine-tune this energy mix. Because we know Nigeria is currently experiencing what we call the silent energy crisis. But what's also important is to see how we can use data, concrete and disaggregated data, to inform policy and decision making at the grassroots level. But this data has to be open, easily accessible, and most importantly, drive informed decision making at all levels.
Well, still staying with the agriculture issue, we are aware of the environmental degradation in Lake Chad region as well as the Niger Delta. One would have thought that the ecological funds would have been deployed to ensure these issues are addressed before even going out to seek for international donations. So where are we with these funds, and what are we doing to mitigate the degradation in these regions?
The organic cleanup is a very specialized issue that is not part of the ecological fund at the moment. It has its own, the minister is currently, and the stakeholders are currently building the financing mechanism for that. We've already have a governance structure for the implementation of the organic cleanup, and the organic restoration fund management is currently been set up in terms of the fund, so it's a bit different from the ecological fund. The ecological fund is not run from the Ministry of Environment; it's run at the presidency level. But for us, for the organic cleanup, it's one of the key part of what we are doing in the ministry, because the organic people have suffered for a whole lot of years, for decades and decades and decades. The people have suffered a lot, and it's really painful to see that. And to make sure that the cleanup staff is on ground, with the kind of governance structure we have on ground that looked at promoting transparency and accountability. Like I know that things are going to work very well. So that's the setup. Recruitment is concluding, and a major announcement will be coming on very soon on that issue, on that one. And it's the key part of what we do, because we restore the Niger Delta with issues of the gas flaring and agriculture. We will have enormous good news to share around the world. That things work very well, and with the commitment of this that we have, and of course the president himself, then we have everything we need. We just need to be able to be patient and see how the process, because the government process, a lot of place, and like I said earlier, this administration is not doing things anyhow anymore. Things has to be done accurately and accordingly, and so that the solid foundation that has been put in place can be sustainable, that other ministers in other administration will be able to look at and say, yeah, we had a solid foundation. So things are working in that one. So for that is the going to clean up.
Well, thank you very much, Esther Barakwe. You are the Communications Advisor to the Minister of Environment, and Hamzat Lawal, you are the Chief Executive, Connected Development. We have to leave the conversation here and take a break, after which we will flip through the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the last week. Don't go away.
If I tell you something, Mommy, you wouldn't believe it. My name was actually part of the scam. They said myself, Tonya Imako, and Mayowa's family wanted to scam the public. Yes.
More revelations by Toyin Aimaku on how the controversy that trailed the donation made towards the operation of a Nigerian suffering from an ailment tops this week's most viewed videos from the bottom, as it takes the 5th spot.
God willing, he is going to be the winner a week today.
In 4th is President Muhammadu Buhari's campaign in Ondo State to solicit for votes for the APC's candidate in the upcoming governorship election, Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN. Up next is the APC and PDP faithful storming the streets of Port Harcourt, Rivers State in separate protests.
Now, our party, the APC, has not managed this victory well. There have been so much accusations, counter-accusations, allegations, internal acrimony, so many problems.
In 2nd place is Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha speaking about how the All Progressives Congress has managed its victory since taking over power from the PDP in 2015. While topping the charts is the swearing-in ceremony of Mr. Godwin Obaseki as the governor of Edo State. Well, Well, there you go, the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching our content on YouTube. Keep watching, and your favorite just might make it to the most viewed charts. Now that the ball has been set rolling, the world will be watching to see how soon the resolutions reached at the conference will be implemented, and the larger picture, which is to mitigate and fight devastating climate change the world over, will come to be. And that's the program this week. Thank you for watching, and do remember the conversation definitely will continue with our contributors online and us as well via the social media addresses showing on your screen. I'm Victor Matthias. Goodbye for now.